General Hospital spoilers tease that Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza, is Port Charles' newest resident from Bensonhurst. He's Brooke Lynn Quartermain's, Amanda Seton, cousin, and made his debut playing violin at Brooklyn's wedding to Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard. Gio mentioned later that he never had the chance to meet his father because he served in Afghanistan and died before Gio was born. If that sounds like someone currently is Port Charles, you might be thinking of Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson. Drew was a Navy SEAL and also served in Afghanistan and was actually presumed dead for many years. But Drew already fathered a son during that period, Oscar Nero, Garen Stitt, so it might a little much for him to have another son in exact same circumstance. In addition, Drew already has hands full dealing with Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrous, and Jordan Ashford, Tanisha Harper, not to mention her new political aspirations. Adding a brand new son might be a little bit much, at least for now. Perhaps Gio's mom lied to Gio about his father's background as part of some sort of cover-up. It's worth mentioning that Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zomprogna, grew up in Bensonhurst, but he left to pursue a career in law enforcement. Maybe Dante was involved with Gio's mom and he left town without even knowing she was pregnant. Gio could easily be his son, and it would be easy to see Gio and Dante bonding and forming a bond as son and father. Although he didn't grow up in Bensonhurst, Cody Bell, Josh Kelly, was Dante's friend from camp. Perhaps Cody came to visit Dante and met Gio's mom while there. Cody wasn't the most reliable or honest person when he was younger, so it's possible his mom didn't want Gio to know Cody was his father. But Cody has matured in recent years and might be willing to accept a son now, especially because Cody still hasn't revealed that he himself is Max Scorpio's, John G. York, son. It might be interesting to play out the parallels between three different generations of men who have no idea they are related. Did Gio's description of his father remind you of Drew? Could Dante have fathered Gio and no even know it? And what about Cody? Anything can happen in Port Charles, so stay tuned to General Hospital airing weekdays on ABC. Don't forget to check back right here regularly for all your General Hospital news, information, and spoilers. The small town of Port Charles has always been a place where secrets fester, mysteries unfold, and relationships are built upon webs of tangled truths. Recently, viewers have been drawn into a compelling storyline surrounding Gio, the mysterious young man whose past remains shrouded in secrecy. But what if Gio's mystery father has been hiding in plain sight this whole time? In a jaw-dropping twist that will leave fans reeling, it turns out that Gio's father is not only alive but also very much present in Port Charles, and his arrival is about to shake the very foundation of the city. Gio first appeared in Port Charles with an air of mystery that instantly piqued the curiosity of viewers. A quiet, brooding figure, Gio has mostly kept to himself, but his intense presence and the aura of a complicated past have never gone unnoticed. What was his story? Why was he in Port Charles? And what connection did he have to the characters we've come to know so well? There were early hints that Gio was running from something, perhaps a dangerous secret, a family connection that could bring chaos to the city, or even a past that he was desperate to bury. As he crossed paths with prominent residents like Sonny Corinthos, Carly Spencer, and even Jocelyn Jacks, the question remained, who is Gio? And what does he want from Port Charles? For weeks, the audience was left in suspense, trying to piece together the fragments of Gio's backstory. Some speculated that he was a former associate of Sonny's, while others believed he was linked to a criminal organization in some way. As it became clear that Gio wasn't just a passive bystander in Port Charles, the question turned to one of family. Who were his parents? What was his real motivation for coming to town? It was during this time that Gio's interactions with people like Jocelyn became increasingly intriguing. Could he have a romantic interest in her, or was he simply using their connection for something more? Fans began to question whether Gio was hiding his true identity and whether it had anything to do with a hidden family legacy. Was it possible that his father was someone of significance in Port Charles? In an unexpected twist, fans were stunned when a shocking revelation came to light. Gio's father was not only alive, but he had been living in Port Charles for years, hiding in the shadows. The bombshell dropped when a well-known character was seen meeting with a man who had long been presumed dead, none other than Gio's father. The revelation would send shockwaves through the town, especially since no one had any idea that this person had been living among them all this time. But who is this man? The identity of Gio's father is something that is about to turn Port Charles upside down. As viewers learned, Gio's father isn't just some run-of-the-mill figure. He is connected to some of the town's most powerful and influential families. The name alone sends chills down the spine of anyone who hears it, as it immediately invokes memories of betrayals, power struggles, and long-standing rivalries. The man in question is none other than Victor Cassadine, a name that has haunted the corridors of Port Charles for decades. Victor, who had long been believed to be dead after a fiery confrontation with his own family, has resurfaced and is now standing in the center of Port Charles, his presence sending a clear message. He is back, and he has a son who is ready to take his place in the family business. The Cassadines are no strangers to intrigue, drama, and a desire for power. Over the years, they've played a significant role in shaping the storylines of General Hospital, with characters like Helena Cassadine, Stavros Cassadine, and Nicholas Cassadine all making their mark on the city. But Victor's return brings an entirely new layer of complexity to the Cassadine family dynamic. Victor Cassadine is not a man to be underestimated. His icy demeanor, ruthless business acumen, and long history of playing both sides of every situation make him a force to be reckoned with. But the most intriguing part of this revelation is the fact that he has a son, Gio, who has been groomed for something much bigger than the simple life he's been leading. The arrival of Victor's son in Port Charles raises a myriad of questions. What has Gio been told about his father? Did he know the truth all along, or has he been kept in the dark about the full extent of his family's history? As Gio starts to uncover the truth about his parentage, he is forced to confront not only his own identity, but also the legacy that comes with being a Cassadine. As soon as the truth about Gio's parentage becomes public knowledge, the power dynamics in Port Charles will shift dramatically. The Corinthos family, the Quartermains, and even the Spencer family will all feel the ripple effects of Victor Cassadine's return. His presence is a direct threat to the established order of things, and the people of Port Charles will have to choose sides. Sonny Corinthos, who has long been the kingpin of Port Charles, will find his position threatened by Victor's return. Sonny and Victor have a complicated history, filled with betrayal and dangerous games, and this new development will reignite old rivalries. Will Sonny find himself in a battle for control of the city's underworld, or will he be forced to ally with his old adversary in order to take down a common enemy? At the same time, Carly Spencer will have her own struggles to contend with. As someone who has always been deeply connected to the power structures in Port Charles, Carly will find herself at odds with the Cassadines once again. Her relationship with her children, particularly Jocelyn, will come into play as Gio's ties to the Cassadine family threaten to pull them in a direction they're not ready to go. The return of Victor also signals the return of family loyalty, but with a sinister twist. Gio, though he may not have been fully aware of his father's evil influence, will quickly find himself entrenched in the Cassadine web. Will he embrace the dark legacy of his family, or will he resist the pull of his father's power and try to carve out his own future? For Gio, the revelation of his father's identity will be nothing short of earth-shattering. Raised with a sense of anonymity, the truth about his family's past will challenge everything he thought he knew about himself. Gio will be forced to reconcile his upbringing with the truth of his parentage, something that won't be easy. His connection to the Cassadine family will bring with it the weight of a legacy that includes murder, manipulation, and ruthless ambition. Despite this, Gio's inner turmoil will be one of the most compelling aspects of the storyline. On one hand, he will want to distance himself from the Cassadine legacy, perhaps even reject the idea of becoming involved in the family's criminal empire. On the other hand, the allure of power, wealth, and influence will be difficult to ignore, and he may find himself drawn into the very world he tried to escape. His relationship with Jocelyn.